everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Chelsea and I make videos about all things Disney, veganism, sustainability, those sort of videos. If you like those sort of videos, then hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. So before I get into the video, I do like to ask you guys some questions to sort of get to know people who watch my videos a bit more. So I want to know who your favourite character is that you've met in the parks. So today I have another Disney video for you. It's gonna be like what it's actually like to be a Disney performer in Disneyland Paris, and just sort of like what you can expect, like the good things and the bad things, and yeah, so just an honest opinion of what it's like to be a performer in Disneyland Paris. So I'm gonna go through all the like bad points of being a Disney performer, and then I'm gonna finish on a good note. So I'm gonna start with the ridiculous things that people say. I have actually made a video on this previously. It's crazy Disney guest stories. I'll link it up in the corner if you want to go and watch that and find out some weird things that people say to the characters. Yeah, like people come out with some very strange things sometimes. It gets quite uncomfortable sometimes and a little bit awkward, and then leading on from that point you've also got all the weird creepy men who come to Disneyland who, I don't know, they don't have kids, they just kind of come on their own. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to Disneyland if you're a 50-year-old man, you're on your own. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like going on the rides, you like meeting the characters, watching the shows and stuff, that's absolutely fine. I have nothing against that, but it's just when they're weird and creepy towards the characters and just interacting in a way that they know that they probably shouldn't. Sometimes like it's just little things, like the dads sometimes make a comment as well, and it just makes the whole situation a bit awkward because the mums are like, excuse me? And I know that they're doing it as a joke, but it just sometimes makes the whole experience a little bit more awkward. And then yeah, you've got the men who come on their own and just are a bit weird and creepy. I mean, you've got the ones who come on their own who are absolutely fine, but you know, there are always going to be those weird creepy ones who are there purely to hit on the princesses, and I don't know, it's strange. So you get a huge variety of different people that you meet. So you get the ones who are like super happy and really excited about it all and like even cry when they meet the characters. And then you get the ones who are just super grumpy or like shy or non-believers. Say it's a kid and they're like, you're not real. Sometimes you get the parents doing things like that as well, and it's like, you really should know better. Like, why are you doing this? You're literally trying to get somebody fired. And then you also get the grumpy people, like it's normally dads who are a little bit grumpy, and you'll be like, so what have you done today? And they're like, oh well, all we've done is spent like 2 hours queuing for this. Most people aren't rude to the characters. They'll normally be rude to like the character attendant or like even the photographer sometimes. Some of them can still be quite rude to the characters as well. So something that happens more backstage is that a lot of the well, not a lot of, like a few, not many in comparison to how many there are, but a few of the performers sort of think that they're better than everybody else. And I mean that in relation to like they think that they're better than the other performers, but then they also think that they're better than everybody else who works in Disney. So all the people in merchandising and restaurants and guest flow and like the maintenance and cleaners, like all of those jobs. And some of these people just think that they're like the top of the chain. And I mean, really, Disneyland could function without performers. People could still go to Disneyland without the performers. Everything would still run without the performers. But if you don't have cleaners, if you don't have guest flow, if you don't have people serving food, you know, like Disneyland is not going to function. It is still an important part, but Disneyland could run without performers, but it couldn't run without everybody else. So yeah, you just kind of have to deal with the people who think that they are better than everybody else. And because of those few people, a lot of the people from other departments don't like the performers because a lot of them can be snobby sometimes, unfortunately. Most people are very, very nice, and hopefully you won't experience it, but yeah, it happens. I mean, it happens in every kind of job. You always get the people who think that they're better than the other ones, but you know, I mean, that's just how life is. It happens in all sorts of places, I'm sure, like other theme parks and like cruise ships and stuff like that. I mean, you do get some people who are a bit snobby. They will complain about the job, and it's like, what is there really to complain about this job, to be honest? People just love a good excuse to moan. I get that sometimes people are tired, but when you're moaning about it every single day, it's like, why are you still here? You know, like if you really hate it that much, leave. you know? Don't bring down everybody else's mood just because you don't enjoy the job anymore. Okay, so another thing about working as a performer in Disneyland Paris is that you have to work in all sorts of weather. Obviously, the parades go out even if it's raining, unless it's like literally storm. The parade will still go out, so you have to be able to perform in all sorts of weather conditions. So you're like boiling hot days in the summer that you're literally dying and wanting to collapse, and then you've got your freezing cold days in the winter. Obviously they like cut choreography when it's raining too much or if it's too hot, but yeah, you do still have to go out in all sorts of weather conditions. So one of the main issues that I face at Disneyland Paris is the language barriers. I only speak English fluently. I know a few phrases in French and a few phrases in Spanish. Yeah, language barriers can be difficult, and when you're speaking with people, sometimes it hurts your brain and you'll just start saying things in the wrong language. When you throw that Spanish family a c'est magnifique and you're like, wrong language. It's difficult, especially like in a place that has so many different cultures coming into it. It's hard, and I focused on learning French and Spanish while I was there because they're the most common languages spoken, French, English and Spanish. But yeah, it's hard. If you don't speak that many languages, it is hard. And by the end of the day, you will be knackered. Like, my brain at the end of a shift is just like, poof. And then while I'm still talking about languages, you get those families who are really rude about it as well. So I can understand French people being a little bit annoyed that you don't speak French because you're in their country. So this goes for being a performer and then also being a character attendant. I've done both of those, and people can get frustrated when you don't speak French, and I totally understand that because we're in their country. However, like, it is an English speaking company, so they should take that into consideration. But I can totally understand the frustration. Like, if I went to Alton Towers and I asked someone like, oh, where's this ride, and they're like, ah, désolé, je ne peux parler anglais, and I'd be like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing? You know, people can be very rude about it. I don't understand why other cultures get annoyed that you can't speak their language. So like Italian people, if they're like, why doesn't she speak Italian? Then it's like, you're in France in an American company. Where's the Italian in that? Like, why are you expecting these people to be able to speak Italian, you know? Or like Portuguese or whatever language it is. I don't have anything against Italians, I just picked a language to speak about. But yeah, when people get annoyed that they can't speak the language that has absolutely nothing to do with where they are, it's just like, why are you annoyed about that? Right, so that's enough for the bad side of working at Disney. None of these things are bad enough that would make me want to quit. Nothing is so terrible that it puts me in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Absolutely everything is outweighed by the good, and you always come home at the end of the day feeling amazing. Like, doing this job can turn your worst day into your best day. Like, literally, just it takes one kid to come and say the cutest thing and you're like, I'm having the best day. So something else that I love about this job is when adults come to meet a character and they're so excited and they join in, and I mean, some of them even cry because they're just so excited, and I absolutely love it when those sort of adults come and meet the characters. Like, even without kids, a lot of their adults, someone like me who goes without kids and meets all the characters, and they're just really interacting well, and you know, they're like the best meet and greets. I mean, I love the meet and greets with the kids because they're so cute, but the adults like fully interact and they really get into it, a lot of them, and like they love it. Another amazing thing about being a performer in Disneyland is that you literally are making people's day. Like, some of these kids have never met these characters before, they've never seen them, but they've grown up watching them on TV, and then like before they know it, they're stood there in front of them and they're like, and it literally makes their day. Even just like a wave to them on the parade, it makes their day. And like when they get to give their favorite character a hug or like a kiss on the cheek, that's gonna stick with that kid, like that memory for like their whole life. Like, literally, I have memories from meeting characters when I was 9 years old when I first went to Disney, and those memories are still in my head because like that was me seeing Mickey Mouse in real life, you know? Like, Mickey is real, you know? He stood right in front of me, he just gave me a big hug. Okay, so something that is very hard but so rewarding about this job is something that they call pixie dusts. So this is when children from, I think it's like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, come to Disneyland. So they get like a trip to Disneyland. It's like an ill child who, I think a lot of them are getting better, so like they've got enough health to be able to go to Disneyland, which is good, so they're getting better. But for a lot of them, they've got like a terminal illness and they get to make a wish, and their wish is to go to Disneyland, and then they get to meet their favorite character in like a private setting. So they get like 20 minutes, just them and their favorite character in a little room, taking pictures, doing autographs, just chatting, playing with them, and it's the most special thing. It's so lovely. It is hard because you don't know why that kid is there, you don't know if they're getting better, you don't know if they're terminally ill. These kids are in love with those characters, and their wish is to go and meet these characters in Disneyland and to, you know, just enjoy like a normal weekend with their families and stuff like that. It's just so special. Like, it really is. I love it. It's so cute. Yeah. I'm gonna move on before I cry. The next thing that I want to mention is I love just listening to kids. Like, literally the ones who just ramble on about, I have no idea what they even talk about. Like, it's so funny to like see what kids think is important to tell their favorite characters. It's just so funny to see like how kids' brains work. There is no limit. Their imagination is unbelievable. The last thing that I want to say is that this job is literally the best job ever. It's so sweet. Like, these kids are having the best days of their life. So that is everything that I wanted to mention for this video. The bad things, they're really not that bad, and they're not very common compared to all the good things. Most of them are amazing. All the guests are so happy to be there and so grateful, and it just really outweighs all the bad stuff. The best job ever. Highly recommend it. If there is an audition near you, go to it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, and remember to comment down below who your favorite character is to meet, and subscribe to see more videos. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I upload a video as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.